Welcome back to this week's Pillar Guidance for the Our Raw Material Arena. I am Tavish Cardiff, one of the co-founders of the practice, and I am here every week to offer just a little bit of guidance for each week's pillar. This week we are talking about the ignorance pillar, the first of the physical pillars for this session, spring 2025. As we are doing this particular session, the guidance is a little more meditative, not a meditation, but make sure you're comfortable and relaxed, and most importantly, able to be aware of your breath for the entire however many minutes. Give yourself a good exhale, and at the end of that exhale, take another deep breath in. The question for the ignorance pillar starts with an imagination. Imagine for a second everything in the entire world that there is to know. Give yourself just a little moment to let that germinate, how big that space really is. And once you have that idea of how much there is to know, ask yourself, what percentage do you think that you personally know? Let that number flail around a little bit as you take in more and more of what you've thought of that there is to know that hadn't been considered in that first go round. There's no wrong answer here. There's no right answer. And very likely the number that you come up with isn't accurate in terms of what we truly know. It's more an exercise in understanding how big the space is of what we don't know. Yet we go around expecting everyone else's common sense to equal ours. So ignorance, when we break it down, is really just an opportunity to learn. Keep breathing. Big exhale on going back to moments within your own ignorance where you felt shame, or like you weren't good enough, or you didn't measure up, or where you've held someone else in contempt for their own ignorance. It's kind of like you're a kid on a seesaw, balancing, figuring out how to get the right weight and the right balance on each side so that this makes sense. Because taking in how we hold expectations for other people that are maybe unfair, unrealistic, unworkable, unsolvent, is really where we all need to take a step back, pause, and recognize how much there really is that we don't know, so that we can best represent ourselves, our interests, and the things that we do know, the things that we're passionate about, to and for other people. So take another deep breath and exhale, just check in, make sure that you are still breathing. We are chasing moments in our mental space, feelings, thoughts of times where we didn't know enough or didn't measure up, or even right now, things that you feel like you should know that you don't. Just go into all of those places where we use the word should and give them a little bit of that sparkly energy. Call back to last week's Food Week guidance. Personal, sparkly, energetic substance that we can go in with, like a salve or an elixir or a tea, something that brings awareness, breath, expansion, allowance into the things that are shameful and that make us tight and afraid and scared. I'm trying to offer the space here for mind and body to come together with some of these realizations of what we expect from ourselves, what we expect from others. Let's just think about the phrase, at this age, you should know XYZ. We all come from vastly different backgrounds and experiences. And even within our own families, we encounter a different set of circumstances that we each learn from. We excel where we find our passion. And the idea that each of us is in touch with what makes us excited or passionate is somewhere where we lose common ground. We lose a sense of commonality, because the truth and the fact is there are so many people in the world that live without passion, without joy, without feeling attached to the things that some of us rely on to make us feel good in the world. And so when we look around and see somebody clearly not handling themselves well, not handling their circumstances well, not handling the way the world is interacting with them, we have the ability to breathe within ourselves, to ground ourselves, and to offer a heart energy, green, effervescent. Let that energy surround yourself, your own heart, and expand over to theirs, just to feel a little bit of support, a little bit of love, a little bit of universal, sparkly energy, separate from your own, but keeping that mind-body connection within ourselves and within the people around us, aware, nurtured, active, even if we don't know what to do with it, even if it creates fear, even if we don't trust it. These types of learning opportunities, coincidences, themes and avenues that come together when we didn't expect them to. So many situations where we don't have any explanation, but the universe brought things together. And just take a breath around how deeply you can take in or believe something like that. It may be that you can't take that very far into your body at all because you don't believe any part of it. It may be that you're asking for a deeper breath so that you can take it in a little further. Our ignorance is not something to hold us down, pull us back. Well, maybe to pull us back. Maybe to stop, pause, get the lay of the land, see who around you knows a little more about the subject at hand. This can even be a child. Give the opportunity to learn to the people around you, even though they may not seem as intelligent, adept, attuned as you are. Get the lay of the land, breathe, exhale, take in what you don't know, appreciate what you're able to learn without taking the time to judge why you didn't know it. Even in situations where we forget things and remember them later and get down on ourselves for not knowing it when we needed to know it. These are the kinds of mental games that we play that keep us from enjoying clear mind-body interaction and communication. Let's do one more big inhale. Figure out the tightest spot you've got, light it up with that sparkly energy, and on your exhale, consider taking this idea of ignorance into your week and generally looking around you and seeing what the people that you're watching might go through in their own lives, might have to contend with or deal with, might be the circumstances that they brought in that very clearly demonstrate why they don't know what you expect them to, or why they know so much more than you do about any given thing. Ignorance is a space for us to find passion and joy in learning, in the ability to further understand ourselves and represent ourselves. I will be back next week when we talk about the feelings of these first 4 weeks and what they do on top of the framework that we've just created. I will see you next week. Thank you.